See right here. How can we do this? All right, let's see what that looks like. Still kind of dark, isn't it? Where's Ava at? All right, y'all. Good evening, TikTok. Let's go over here. Go live. Hey, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. On this Friday evening, I'm trying to get my tea situated. So, hey, everybody on TikTok, y'all come on in. Come on in. Sit a little longer. Come on in. Hey there, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Ace Hardware and Home Depot and Lowe's. Yeah. It feels like I'm talking all over the world. How's everybody doing? Good Friday evening, everybody. Coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia this evening. And what I've been thinking about, I dropped Dave off at the airport earlier. And I went and bought a baby chicken, a couple of little baby chickens. I got them in my washroom area in a little box. Ain't but a day old. It'll take a while to, by about April sometime before you can put them out in the thing. Good evening, TikTok. Good evening, everybody. Coming to you from Atlanta, most wonderful city in the world. I tell you what, I kind of run through my mind today. Here in the last couple of days, I've got where I'm paying a little bit more attention to the news. I'm not going to go back and said before, catch up on all the daily news. I used to watch Don Lemon on CNN. Every night he'd come on about 10 o'clock for an hour, and he just kind of catching up on the top stories in politics and in the news. Hey over there, Mom. Thank y'all. Y'all come on in, say hello. Good evening, everybody over on TikTok. TikTok's my number one girlfriend. Facebook and YouTube, they ain't never sent me the kind of paychecks that I got from TikTok. TikTok's been, what's that? Who was that? Garrett, somebody, the one of the people that on SNL years ago when it first started out, he'd always say, "Bessie Ball been very, very good to me. Bessie Ball been very, very good to me." But thank y'all for the hearts. Hello, Dallas, Texas, out there. Hello, little farmhouse, 1761. Greetings to you also, Central Alabama. Good evening to you, Yolanda. Garrett Morris. Yeah, Katie. Garrett Morris. Best of all, been very, very good to me. TikTok's been very, very good to me. I've enjoyed it. Katie said she's in Dallas too. I've never been to Dallas, but they say Dallas feels a little like Atlanta, but I don't know. I know that I've been to Austin and Houston and San Antonio and some of the other places. Never been to Dallas, though. I would have liked to went to Dallas sometimes when the Falcons was playing the Cowboys and the Falcons beat them, so I could walk out of that big old stadium in Dallas. Now, yeah, we showed them, didn't we? Ain't we silly, all us football people? So anyway, y'all, here's what I'm thinking this evening. In the last couple of days of starting back and kind of reading a little bit of the news and kind of seeing a little bit what's going on, J.D. Vance is over in Germany today making some kind of weird things about they're corrupt from within. And I don't know, it all seems sinister to me. When I posted earlier today on my Facebook page that the VA administration let 1,000 people go all at one time. I mean, y'all, there's something weird about all this, and I've never been one. I mean, there's no conspiracy theories about it. There's just, I just wonder if there's something real sinister that these people are doing. This is not politics. This is not politics from one admin to the next. There's something real sinister that feels like it's going on in the country. And we're living in an American nightmare. I think we are. I think we don't. I don't think we really grasp how this thing could really go off the rails real quickly. And I'm just wondering, have we already lost America? We just haven't woke up to the fact that we have now lost America. And it seems sinister. When I say it seems sinister, uh, there's recordings, and this is this is from years ago. Somebody recorded Donald Trump saying that Donald Trump said if he ever ran in politics, he'd absolutely be a Republican. He said because the Republicans are stupid. And you can Google it. There's recordings of Donald Trump saying he would be a Republican because the Republicans are gullible and they're stupid. And yeah, I know, Miss Paula. So I'm just wondering, is there something really sinister that's flowing across the country now? Where the opposition voices are not being heard. Donald Trump, he's proved that claim. Yeah, Scott. Yeah. And I agree with Donald Trump. The Republicans are stupid. They'll probably knock my live off of TikTok for saying that. But my God, and evangelicals and Christians, how stupid to think that's a representation of godliness in Christ. Good Lord. Who in God's name would want to go sit in any church where people felt like Donald Trump was a Christian that people could lift up and look up to? So sinister, that's what I want to talk about here in my maybe I'll be on here 30 minutes or so. Disregarding the Constitution, checks and balances. Yeah, there's something sinister going on. The other people feel it too. It's not just me. I'm not paranoid. Believe me, yeah, there's just something, there's something that feels really, and the reason I say that about Donald Trump saying the Republicans, he would be a Republican because the Republicans are just stupid and they're gullible and you could, get them to go along with anything. And this is just the way my brain's thinking now. They put out this offer for millions of federal workers, trying to get all of them just to quit. Well, my God, does that not disrupt the people that they're supposed to be serving? When you go into the office one day and half the building has resigned or quit. And by the way, I seen on CNN earlier that when he sent the Justice Department sent the letter for the prosecutors to sign the withdrawal of prosecution against Eric Adams, I believe his name, the mayor of New York City, the first 7 prosecutors that they came to resigned before they would sign that paper. So now they're trying to get somebody to sign the paper to not prosecute the mayor of New York City. Y'all, that just seems a lot of sinister stuff going on. And this mayor, he's going to be licking Trump's bootstraps once he's freed from all that. And because there was a possibility, most of the time when the Justice Department go after you, that the Justice Department go after you and you're pretty cooked. The Justice Department, when they dig in on to prosecute you, they already have the evidence on you before they take you to trial. And rarely does somebody get off of it or beat it. And so it just seems like something really sinister is flowing in our government now. And if you were going to take and think, well, if Donald Trump and Elon Musk and the other oligarchs that's now running the country, if they wanted to really collapse America and make it like Russia or China, how would they do that? And I would tell you the way they do it. The way they do it would be to collapse our economy, make this country implode, pull the rug out from everything, shut down whole departments, the Department of Education, force millions of people out of work throughout their federal government. You know, these people that work for the federal government in that large number has a big impact on the economy. Why would Trump and Elon really want to damage and make the economy just collapse? Because then they could do away with Social Security. They could do away with elections. The country would be in chaos. People, that'd be hard to campaign. I'm telling y'all, the big monkeys that's in the room is many people warned this when Donald Trump was elected, that if he's elected, he will not come back out of the White House. And I know a lot of you people think, oh, Eddie, what are you smoking? What are you drinking? I'm telling you, this man is in it till he's dead. He's going to be like Fidel Castro sitting up there when he's 90 years old, still promising that there'll be elections in the future. These people are not to be trusted. You cannot believe nothing they say. And there's something very sinister going on right now. Very sinister. And, you know, he, in watching a little bit of the news earlier today, why do so many Republicans choose power, money over compassion and morality? That's a good question. So until next week, wishful thinking, yeah, maybe he's going to be our first king, probably. He's already king to most evangelicals. Evangelicals took Jesus down off the cross. Donald Trump is their Christ now. Man, Jesus is yesterday's news. You know, like shit on Jesus. You talk to any evangelical Christians now, they're like, Jesus is last year's go round. This year, we love Donald Trump. They have put Donald Trump up on the cross and they worship him. You know, he's become like the golden idol that was in Egypt that the people built. It's weird. And these people, J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, they're playing this for all they can. They're determined to bring this government down. And when I say government, I'm not talking about their administration. I'm talking about the layers of government, the pillars of government that has stood the test of time for 200 years. And there's something sinister in the land, y'all. And I don't mind. Mom over on TikTok said we shouldn't call them Christians. I don't mind calling them Christians. I mean, Christians is an umbrella that if you Google it, there's 50,000 different sects that are Christians right now. The KKK was a Christian organization. Everybody can claim Christianity. You know, Donald Trump, he held that Bible upside down. Yeah, he loves the Lord too. You know, that's why a new follower from Canada. Good evening, Miss Brenda. Thank you. Good evening, Bones. Christian mom over here says Christian means Christ-like. I don't know. I just think that Christian boat sails somewhere, you know. And, you know, I was a Christian pastor for 17 years of a church, and I've been a Christian my entire life up until about 7 or 8 years ago. And then I just decided I'm not going to identify as Christian any longer. Why should I have to? I can love Christ without saying, oh, I'm a Christian. You know, if I don't know, there's just, you know, Christian protected slavery. Christians in America hid behind Christ and preached the gospel to say that slavery was okay for them. And Christians stood up in Congress and fought against the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Christians were for segregation. I mean, actually, really and truly, Christians ain't never been on the right side of our history in this country. It seems like they've always been a day late and a dollar short. And I'm not just coming on here to beat up on Christians and all like that, but my God, you know, there seems to be something sinister going on in our country. And, you know, we've known this since the election, but man, to take like the Department of Education, they've got the of course, it's challenged in court, but the Supreme Court don't exist any longer. So anything makes it to the Supreme Court, they just automatically rubber stamp it for Donald Trump because he's put 3 or 4 of the justices on there, and they're licking his bootstraps. The Supreme Court is not an independent court any longer. It is a Trump MAGA court. So if Trump said he wanted to disband the Navy, and send half the Navy to Russia to help Russia fight Ukraine, Supreme Court wouldn't stop and step it. They'd be like, yeah, he'd do what he wanted to do, you know. So thank y'all. Hey, everybody, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia this evening, having me a little hot tea with a little bit of honey in it. My sweetie Ava is already landed in North Carolina, and she'll be back Monday. So me and Boom Boom and Gracie, we sitting here around the house. We piddling and diddling. Pale blue vanilla says love talking about the issues. So I'm sitting here having me a little cup of tea and just talking to people and piddling. You know, in the South, you say you piddling or diddling or daddling. And but what kind of runs through my mind this evening that I felt all afternoon was that there's something sinister going on in Washington. There is something really sinister going on. Nobody goes into an administration trying to defeat them own selves. And Donald Trump has went into this administration trying to collapse it, trying to put millions of people out of work. And I know this is still Joe Biden's economy, and the inflation ticked up for the first time in a good while, over 3% the other day when it came out. Yeah, we can blame Joe Biden on that. Who cares? But when it gets up to 6 and 7%, which is heading for in the next year, when all these millions of people are out of work, then we can blame Donald Trump. And Donald Trump wants us to blame him because he's trying to collapse the economy. He's trying to collapse the government. He's trying to take America and remake it where that it's basically run by oligarchs like a lot of other third world countries and like Russia and China and North Korea. Trump has had he's had no problem saying how much he admires strong dictators like the dictator of North Korea, and Russia and China. He wants to be like the dictator of China. I'm telling y'all people, he's got his fingers deep into America, sobbing about Stonewall today. Taria, I love Stonewall. I took my daughter and my granddaughter, and we took pictures in front of Stonewall this past October when we were in New York City. Kelly Goldsmith said it's called Christian nationalist. Yeah. So anyhow, I'm coming to y'all. Y'all, we're in Atlanta this evening. First time people coming by, stopping, saying hello. People over on hello from Tennessee. Hello to Tennessee there, Miss Francis, over on Facebook. You people over on Instagram and YouTube, I'm seeing you out there too, and over on TikTok. Thank y'all for the hearts and the gifts and the comments. And so anyhow, I'm talking this evening about sinister. There's something sinister in the land. And this administration, y'all, they're dropping cases against the mayor of New York City, who would go to prison if that trial went to thing. And it's another way that you wait and see in the months ahead. He's going to become an advocate for Donald Trump. You know, I don't know if he'll get reelected in New York City, but with Donald Trump as president, Donald Trump might just sign a proclamation and put him in the mayor of New York City. So all these programs are being cut. All these hundreds of thousands of people are being let go. There's something fishy on the sinister side. What's going on right now? This is a very serious time in the country. And the thing about it is, the conservative radio, like Eric Erickson over on WSB here in Atlanta, I listened to him for a couple hours the other day on an OAM radio I had in my living room. I just wanted to listen to it. I ain't listened to that kind of foolishness in years. Man, what just a spew of just lies after lies after lies. Now, Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh did it for years. Sean Hannity still does it. Lies, 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 all for hour after hour. And these people are sitting in traffic in Atlanta. Let me decline this. These people are sitting in traffic for hours every day, coming and going in Atlanta, and they listen to that. And I'm telling you, it's like poison. It's like people being poisoned, you know. And I even had a friend of mine whose mother had issues with him being gay. Let me see. Hello. Uh-huh. They did what now? Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Try to get his phone number from him and I'll call him. Yeah. Chris. All right. Tell him to call me and I'll talk to him. All right. All right. Bye. I might have to go, y'all. Oh, I might have to go. If I get a call coming in, am I still on over here? Good evening, TikTok. I'm always talking about. Yeah. I had a call coming in, Julie, so it froze the phone. Allie over on Facebook said it's about how a Christian agenda is now running the government. I'm telling y'all, people, there's something sinister going on. And, like the old saying, I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. There is something sinister going on in our country. And it's been going on for the last 10 years. And now, in the second term of, it's been acting up today. They put the download back on the app stores. Yeah. I had a call coming in, and if another call comes in, I'm just going to end this. But there's something sinister going on in the country. In Donald Trump's second administration, I watched an older friend of mine get slowly poisoned by Rush Limbaugh. That's one of the things I have against Christian churches, especially in the Southern Baptist and the evangelical churches. And what I was going to say, we are many in Denmark worried about all of you in the States. Yeah, we love Denmark. Eddie, if you see this, I'd start over, reboot. Let me see right here. I can do that. Let me see. We've got a big update, Justin. The federal. Yeah, let me do that. I'm going to reboot over here. That phone call messed me up. Let me see right here. Resume live. Okay, let me do that. Maybe that helped a little bit. But what somebody was saying about people being poisoned by watching Fox News and listening to these conservative Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh, the best thing Rush Limbaugh ever did in his life for the country was to get out of here. That was the best thing. That was the best gift he ever did for the country. Because he poisoned so many minds. He's the seeds of all this MAGA hate and visceral stuff that's going on. And then you got the president who said earlier today that, hello, everybody, Ben Courage, hello over there, coming to y'all from Atlanta this evening. Trump did. And then you got the president of the United States now that dismissed the head of the Kennedy Center and all the board of the Kennedy Center, and appointed his own people, made himself the head of the Kennedy Center. And then he said, hey, good evening, Boston, Massachusetts. And then he said today, because the Kennedy Center was too woke, we need to get back to, like, I guess, Lee Greenwood kind of entertainment where I'm proud to be an American and a East Idaho, all that kind of goofiness. That they had 2,200 performances at the Kennedy Center last year, the director said, and 3 of them had drag queens as part of the entertainment in the shows. And Trump said, we're done with all that. That's never going to be like on stage again. Listen how dictatorial this is, y'all. I mean, we now are being told what we can enjoy as art or not art, that those rights are being stripped down away from us. So I'm telling y'all, there's something very sinister going on in the nation. And this second election of Donald Trump, the MAGA crowd knew this when they stood in line and voted. They knew this. They were trying to kill democracy. The MAGA crowd out there that voted for him hopes that there's never another presidential election, because they don't want that kind of government no more. They want their Christ-like man, Donald Trump, to be in there for the rest of his life. They don't ever want to deal with the Democrat again. And Donald Trump knows that. He knows they'll support that. Even if they implode the economy and inflation is 20% and there's 15-20% unemployment and the country's going through hell, these people that want to destroy the country, all these Southern Baptists and all these evangelicals, Assembly of God, Church of God, UPC, Pentecostal people, all these people that want to kill this country, they will go along with never having another election. They'll be as quiet as a lamb led to slaughter, just as long as they can keep Brandon or Biden or somebody else from having any kind of competition to do it. And I'm telling y'all, this is a very sinister time we're living in. And people's like, I think it's going to behoove a lot of us, not everybody, because I understand when you put your face out there and when you put your name out there, there's a lot of people wanting to chop it off, and I'm fine with that. But I'm telling you, I'm going to spend the next year or two until something begins to break and a movement begins to start and something begins to wake up, is just continually to tell people, do not go to sleep during this time. You might not can do anything about what's coming down the chute, but at least be awake, be woke, wake up, do not be deceived, And I know from the years that I studied the Bible and read the Bible, from the years that I studied the Bible, one of the things Jesus would say, he'd use this comment oftentimes, if you go back and read this, he would say, do not be deceived. And he'd use that term a lot as they try, do not be deceived. He even would say, do not be deceived, because many will come in my name, even saying that I am the Christ. He said, but don't believe them. Don't believe them. You can be deceived to think like that. And what we have is a whole 40%, 45% of a nation of at one time was the greatest nation on earth that has been deceived. They think they're enlightened. Oh, they think they listen to, who is that? They think they listen to that guy that was on Fox that got fired, and Tucker Carlson, and they think they listen to this extreme white ring media, and they're stupid, y'all. They're just stupid. Because it don't take but 5 minutes to figure anything out if you got a mind that's working right. But if you're already programmed in that you're going to take a stand and you're going to see it this way, and MAGA, the type people that are MAGA are people that's not going to ever have a mind where they're like, oh, I see it now. No, it's kind of like they bought an old jalopy that was a bad car, and they just determined to make that car run because they done invested their time in it now. It's not like the Democrats. The Democrats would throw somebody under a bus. 770 park rangers got laid off, slips from the Great Smoky Mountains today. Y'all, there's something sinister going on out there. This is not normal. This is not American. These 707, Francis Blizzard says this over on Facebook. And Norma Ray, she says over here, I've been emailing my legislators in South Carolina weekly about any number of issues, and our AG, Attorney General, as well. I have to do something. Good for you, Norma. Good for you. But I'm telling you, 770 park rangers let go from the Great Smoky Mountains. Y'all, there's something sinister going on here. This ain't normal. This ain't politics as usual. This ain't Republicans and Democrats going on. Thank y'all over there on TikTok. I'm talking both ways. There's something sinister going on. And this thing is going to get to a point where you can't take it back and you can't restore what's being taken away. And so I think the only thing that well, I don't want to minimize my voice because I have a very powerful voice. When I speak, you can call it ego, heady, high-minded, whatever you want to. But when I speak, oftentimes thousands of people hear me across Texas, across California, across Canada. I'm just seeing, and I realize I'm not going to minimize myself and my voice. My voice is very powerful. And I'm going to use that voice to, if nothing else, to try to tell people, please stay woke, stay awake. Don't get lulled into believing this is just another administration. Don't get lulled into just thinking, well, we'll get through this. We may not get through this. And do not be deceived. And going back to what I said about Jesus, always saying that, he would just say, be not deceived. And just because MAGA drank the Kool-Aid and they think their checks are not going to get cut, believe me, their checks will get cut also. And what they will find out in time after it's too late, that to oppress any group of people is to oppress all people. You might think you're sitting out there and think, yeah, I'm glad he's doing away with all these transgender people. That's the way it starts, though. It'll show up at your door at some time. And because we're going through just something very sinister right now. And that's just what I know. I know in my spirit, this is not going to turn out good. And TL Red says over on TikTok, farmers are really hurting now. So I'm just telling you, be awake, be awake. Some of you people, I know a lot of you people are praying people. Prayer, I'll give you, prayer is wonderful. Sometimes I pray myself. Prayer is a good thing. But you know what's also just as important as praying is to be watchful. Make sure you watch what's going on. Make sure you stay awake to what's going on around you. Because I'm telling you, I'm 70 years old. We've never really had danger to come to the streets of our cities. We've never had people in a wartime setting coming through our cities. But I'm telling y'all, there's something sinister going on here. And and I was telling Ava the other day, I've always been really anti-gun, although I have a little bitty 38 by my bed, have one at the shop. I'm just saying, I used to have to go down to the courthouse and get a gun permit. They did away with all that. Now you don't have to have no permits. You don't have to have nothing. You can go out here and buy a machine gun if you want to in Georgia. And I told Ava the other day, I said, it is sinister, Miss Jamie. It certainly is. Creasy Hall over on TikTok says, my stepdad just reposted on Facebook something about Social Security and Medicaid. He voted for Trump, and yeah, you can feel it, John. John says you can feel it. Something more sinister than we've ever seen before. What is that? Something wicked passes this way? Same in Tennessee, Francis says. There's something wicked. I'm telling y'all, people. I'm not going to go down and like a Harvard professor and give you dot and tittle and this breakdown and a paragraph from this and a paragraph from that. I'm just going to tell you straight from my spirit what I feel after watching this for the last 3 weeks. There's something wicked in our country. There's something that's sinister that's going on in our country. And not to tell other people how to minister or what to say or what not to say to the people that follows you. But if you're out there listening to this, some of you, I would also tell you that people can be warned to be woke and don't get lulled in, and because yes, staying prayed up and informed. So my thing is y'all, I don't know how we prepare for what might be coming, but what we don't want to do is when it does come, be found asleep and unknowing about what's going on around us. And there's just something very sinister with all this. 770 park rangers in the Great Smoky Mountains let go in one day today. 1,000 people at the VA administration. And, and Ava's so good when I talk to her about stuff. You can feel it's something more sinister than we've ever seen before. Me and Ava was riding to the airport because this has been on my mind all day. There's something wicked in this land. There's something sinister going on. And I told Ava about all these thousands of people, and hundreds of thousands of people are going to lose their jobs in the federal government. Meryl Lee over on Facebook said, we're being sold out to the highest bidder. You can just feel that. There's something wicked about all of it. But I told Ava, I said, well, maybe some of the, because I can, unlike MAGA, I can open my mind up and say, well, let me see how they're thinking about this on the other side. Maybe I can understand what they're thinking. And so when I do that, I say, well, maybe MAGA feels like there's so much inefficiency in federal government. Maybe the best thing to do is like a bomb goes off and just get rid of hundreds of thousands of them. And Ava, because she's one of the smartest people I've ever been around and one of the most intellectual people, very gifted in the way she can look at things. She's in her answer to that about inefficiency in government, because she's smart. She understands a lot of that. She said, Eddie, the reason there is so much inefficiency in the federal workforce is because they're always so strapped for people and they're being asked to do already much more than they have the people to do. So it comes across like they're being real inefficient to take 2 months or 3 months to get back to you. But it's because they don't have enough workers to kind of handle all they're being asked to do already. And y'all know, without checking any of that, y'all know that's probably true. And so, and then all this inefficiency, because they don't have enough employees, it's fixing to triple the inefficiency. And it's almost like when I keep saying there's something sinister going on, it's like, don't tell me is Trump trying to collapse our country? Is him and J.D. Vance and Elon Musk, are they deliberately trying to bring the government down to a collapse? Are they deliberately trying to bring the economy into a screeching collapse? We've seen it. We've seen it happen in 2008. They wasn't trying to collapse it, but George W. Bush, he handed Obama the keys to a bus that was being driven off of a mountain. The whole banking industry collapsed and insurance companies. So anyhow, coming to y'all from Atlanta this evening, everybody. So I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm not trying to scare people. I'm not trying to make people have a bad evening. I'm not trying to tell people, your job's in jeopardy. But I am telling you this, there's something sinister going on across this country. There is a wickedness that's taken over Washington that if you had to peel that onion down in a biblical sense, you could peel it all the way back to say Donald Trump is the Antichrist that was prophesied by soothsayers and prophets for generations to come. He is the Antichrist. He's going to use Christian people to destroy the Christian faith. And I'm telling you, it's a very calculated, sinister way to do that. It'd be like me, like if I wanted to destroy the FBI, maybe what I would become is an FBI agent so I could get in there and really destroy it. And Donald Trump has used the fact that he's a godly Christian man to destroy the Christian faith. And for you people that won't believe this, I'm telling you, let this percolate for the next couple of years. Some of you is going to wake up and think, oh my God, I never thought it would be this way. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be real tricky to have a presidential election with a fascist dictator in the White House. And that's what the MAGA people and the evangelicals, the UPCs, the Church of God, Assembly of God, even I'll throw the Church of God the Church of God of Prophecy into it that I drove by today going in to get chickens in Jonesboro, Georgia. The hard shell Baptists, the soft shell Baptists, all these people gave this fascist dictator the keys to the country with every bit of power that no president in our history has ever had complete power like Donald Trump has. And y'all, he's going to destroy this country. He's going to destroy, I doubt very seriously, if somebody right tonight handed me $1 million and, gave me $1 million, said, but you've got to vote. You've got to just pick one or the other. You can't hold the million. You've got to pick one or the other, whether there'll be another presidential election or in 4 years there won't be another presidential election. And how you vote that $1 million will determine whether you get to keep it or not. You've got to be right. Y'all, I'd feel very uncomfortable with putting that $1 million on. Yeah, we'll have another presidential election because fascist dictators don't operate like that. They see things differently. Merrill Lynn says farmers that voted for Trump are crying now because they are about to lose their farms. Yeah, and the thing about it is the tariffs on the food and stuff, now they're going to have all these silos all across Iowa and Nebraska just filled with corn they can't sell. They can't get rid of because, the tariffs are going to just rip through it. And there's hardly anything left in our country already about farmers, like just family farmers that had the family farm for years. It's all GMO, and you got to buy seed from these corporate America has just about destroyed everything, So anyhow, y'all, good evening, TikTok. I've got off my chest what I wanted to say. That's other people come on Facebook or TikTok and they say, I just need to vent for a little bit. Well, this could be considered venting, but there's a part of me that feels very spiritually awoke about what's going on around me in this country, what my grandkids are going to have to grow up in. And I just know that there's something very sinister going on in our nation. And there's a wickedness that's in that White House. And these little side things like him taking over the Kennedy Center because it's too woke and rounding up the from what I heard from pundits about not charging the mayor of New York City, it's a deal they have between each other that they let him get away. He don't go to prison. He's going to use the New York City Police Department as mayor because he can appoint the chief of police of whatever it is of New York City. And by them doing that for him, he's going to owe them a debt that they're going to use the police department to help ICE go around and round up immigrants all around New York City. So it's it's that kind of deal. Y'all, there's something real sinister about all of it. And my thing is after seeing this man, this ruthless, ungodly heathen of a man, Donald Trump, for the last 4 years that he was president, and see what that man did on January the 6th by telling those tens of thousands of people to go down there and stop that election. After this man has showed everybody who he is, what he is, and then you have all these church people All these church people sat there on Sunday mornings for 50 years reading their little King James Version Bible, and they're stupid people, just stupid people. Didn't never hear a goddamn thing a preacher ever said from the pulpit about don't be deceived and don't give your heart over to this and don't follow after unrighteousness. Just goddamn stupid sitting right there on the pulpit. And all these preachers that get up Sunday and put their blue jacket on and the red tie, and they go down to the First Assembly of the Pharisaical Resurrection Christ Church in Waycross, Georgia, and get up there and talk about Jesus. They're just goddamn stupid that they would put the country through this bullshit with this Antichrist man. And all the years they went and studied, I don't care whether they studied at Harvard or Emory or wherever they studied at, and being talked about Jesus and the law and the this and that. Stupid, just stupid. That they ain't got no more sense than see a grifter and a con man that'll come around and they just drink that snake oil like it's going to heal every joint in their body. Just stupid. Just stupid. Good Lord. Good Lord. But we're living in times, but that's all I want to say tonight is that there's something real sinister going on in the country. All these people being let go, 1,000 here, 1,000 there, 1,000 here, 1,000 there. This is something wicked that's going on. And it's almost like you can feel they're trying to collapse the country. And I tell you the analogy of that, to take over a country, when George Bush was going to invade Iraq, and Dick Cheney told him, said, well, if you break it, you own it. So they knew they'd go in there and collapse Iraq in this war that they did with Saddam Hussein. But then America spent years then trying to build it back because it was true. You broke it, you own it. In the same analogy, if Trump can break this country, break it, collapse Social Security, collapse military, whatever, just collapse this country, he'll own it until the day he dies, because there'll never be no figuring out how to get it back on track again. And I'm telling you, there's something very sinister going on. Very sinister, very wicked going on. And the only thing I'm going to do is, until I find a voice in a way that can move forward, I'm just going to continually remind people, don't get complacent. Don't fall asleep. Don't get lulled into believing. Just stay woke and be prepared. Every day when other news begins to break, just be prepared. So, we kind of saw that coming, and just kind of be woke with it. So anyhow, everybody, that's about it for me for this evening. What are we doing here? I got a pretty good little group of people over here on Instagram. Let me see right here. We're going to go ahead and close Instagram out. And I'm sitting here looking out my little dining room window, having me a cup of tea. So thank y'all for the gifts over here, the roses. Thank you there. Happy in the 6th. TL Red said, it's not the sheep, it's always the sheep herders. Yeah, isn't that the truth, isn't it? Y'all get me. I think a lot of you get me when I talk about the Christians sitting on the front pew and voted for Trump, and the preachers across all these little evangelical churches that's big MAGA, big Trump people. Y'all kind of understand when I say, my God, they're just stupid. They're just stupid, Lifestyle of a Thrifter says, what are we supposed to do about it? I don't. If I'm being honest with you, John asked, do you think violence is coming? Well, it certainly came 4 years ago when Donald Trump did his first deal where people died on that January the 6th. So it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't see barricades around state houses again and people going back into the streets. Who knows? But to the lifestyle of the thrifter, he says, what are we supposed to do? I'm just going to be honest with you about that right now. What, 18 days into the new administration? Right now, we don't know what to do. I mean, I had a couple of guys call me um, yesterday, and they're coming by Monday morning. They're having a protest of some sort at the state capitol Monday at 12 o'clock. I don't know what it is. There's something, a protest going on. And so they wanted to come by the shop and get some stuff printed up to take to the protest. I work on Mondays. I don't know what the protest is. And I know that we can hit the streets and we can march and we can, of course, when the elections come back around in 18 months or whatever, in 2 years, the Congress gets elected. All 435 seats. I think it's going to be pivotal for people like your voice and my voice to be instrumental in getting involved, the vote to hopefully take the House back. But to answer your question, what are we supposed to do about it now? I don't know what we're supposed to be doing because there's something sinister going on. And all the stopgaps that we've had in government, from the courts to the Justice Department to the Congress to the Senate, all of the stopgap measures, the evangelicals have made sure all that's been taken away from. Now, I've heard other people get on here and they accuse the black men that didn't vote, the reason the country's going to go through this, and they've accused Palestinians, even myself, kind of throw a slur at them that didn't engage and vote. We blame it on them. But I'm going to tell you, there is a group that when this country goes to hell in a breadbasket and implodes, there is one group in this country that is responsible for that. And that's the evangelical Christians across the South. They have done this to this country. I don't think it's something that should ever be forgiven. I think it should be a red scarlet letter that anybody that's an evangelical should have to wear the rest of their life they walk on earth. Oh, you were the one that bloodied America and brought her to her knees. You, the evangelical. So that's where the real culprit lays at. So anyway, y'all, let's get out of here and go find something on Netflix. See y'all.